The Last Supper. On the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the disciples asked Jesus, "Where would you like us to plan for you to eat at the Passover feast?" Jesus replied to them, "Go into the city and you will find a man. Tell him that we would like to come to his house for Passover." First of all, what is the Feast of Unleavened Bread? What is the Passover? These are actually the same things. The Jews celebrated the Passover ever since the time of Moses, when the Lord saved all of the Israelite babies. This is when the Lord passed over their houses and when they were kept safe. During the time of Passover celebrations, the people didn't eat or have any bread in their homes with yeast in it. Yeast is what makes the bread big and puffy. Without yeast, the bread is flat. That is called unleavened bread. Now back to the story. The disciples did just as Jesus asked, for they found a place to go and get ready for the Passover. Jesus could see the disciples were worried. He said to them quietly, "I tell you the truth, one of you here will betray me." The disciples looked at each other in shock, and some of them asked Jesus, "It isn't me, Lord, is it?" Jesus replied, "The one who dips his bread into the bowl with me will betray me. I will die just as it is written, but the man who betrays me will feel sorry forever." Then Judas, with his head down, spoke quietly to Jesus. "It isn't me, is it?" Then Jesus answered, "Yes, you are the one." Judas' head went down even lower. He had hoped that the other disciples had not heard what Jesus said. Luckily, they were paying more attention to Jesus breaking apart some bread. He thanked God for the bread and shared it with the disciples and said, "Take this and eat. This is my body, which is given for you." Then he took a full cup and thanked God and said, "This is my blood, which will be poured out for many people so their sins may be forgiven." They all took a sip from the cup. After some time, Jesus got up from the table and went to a different part of the room. He took off his everyday clothes and put a large towel on himself to look like a servant. After that, he poured water in a large bowl and began to wash the disciples' feet, then dried them with the towel that was wrapped around him. First of all, Jesus is like a king, but even greater than king. He's the King of Kings. By washing the disciples' feet, he was doing something that only a servant would do. When it was Peter's turn to get his feet clean, he said to Jesus, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "No, you don't understand what I'm doing, but you will later." "No," Peter said, "will you never wash my feet?" He said this because he didn't feel right having Jesus wash his feet. He knew that Jesus was very special. Jesus replied back to them, "If I don't wash your feet, then you cannot be with me." "Then, Lord," Peter replied, "just don't wash my feet, but my hands and head too." Jesus then explained that he only needed to wash his feet and that this would make his whole body clean.